hustling my whole life.
Pitchin and Grindnin podcast with your host KLASSIK, ANAYA, DAFFE, and Aaron.
2025, we here. New year, new season. Pitchin and Grindnin podcast. What's going on?
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy
What's
New
up?
Year.
What's going on?
Ain't nothing. Little snow in the south.
Yeah.
Don't come around these parts. We don't need that.
It's just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
We have. It seems like we have a mass number of shootings and violence and bombings since a tragedy from New Orleans. It doesn't stop.
They're getting at it right away.
It's been so much stuff I've been seeing, like even locally. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a lot going on. 15-year-old girl and a guy that she was dealing with were both unalived. And they suspected she was unalived by another 15-year-old, 16-year-old. But the guy that she was dealing with was like 20. And they were both unalived. That was right in like Hillsborough, North Carolina. There was another situation where this guy took the police on a high-speed chase and ended up wrecking. And
that's the one you showed me about, Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
everywhere you go, every country you're in seems to with some bullshit. Also, I watched the movie yesterday. It's called Bosco. Anybody ever seen it?
I don't know. What is that about?
No.
About some guy they put in prison and he was just kept. Tyrese was in the movie a little bit. He played the father. That this kid Bosco, wherever he would go, he would figure a way how to escape. I thought it was gonna be bullshit, but it turned out not to be a bad movie. It's actually.
Why was they locking the kid up? Was the kid evil?
He wasn't evil. His pop it's supposed to be a true story. So usually you read the book before you watch, something that Hollywood would make. I didn't know anything about it, but his father got him caught up and locked up. He's out of Southern California, South Central, but where he was locked up, I guess because it was a Fed case where it just showed him how he was trying to get out of this particular prison. I will watch it though. If you ain't doing nothing.
What was it on?
Amazon or something. I don't have an account. Somebody put their account number in and we watched it. And I said, okay. You know what I mean? They go, we should watch this. I said, I don't want to watch this bullshit. 10 minutes in, I'm starting to watch this movie. Like, oh, okay. This all right. And then I had a buddy. I wasn't a buddy. Let me stop with the buddy word. I knew a dude named Bosco coming up. So I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, hell. So the guy, Bosco, that you knew coming up must have been a little wild.
I really didn't care for Bosco. Not at all.
Why you didn't care for Bosco?
I didn't care for him. He's a little older than me. Our personalities.
Was he a bully?
He was a rough dude. He was, in and out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't really care for him. He was older. He had different probably. As I get older, you start to see why people act the way they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get a better understanding. You know what I mean? I just thought he was asshole. Motherfucker had kids, old lady. You know what I'm saying? Times was tough. It
was just life.
Shit was on his back.
Life was getting to him. Yeah, life was getting to him.
So yeah,
now you understand.
At that age, I understand. But when I saw that, I said, oh, okay. I said, yeah, this motherfucker just like Bosco, too. So I said that it kind of matched up. Decent movie. Let's see what else is going on. I'm always talking shit about movies, and then I'm turning out to like these movies. I'm like, nah, I don't watch movies. I don't watch movies.
I watch them all the time.
See?
So I know one of the last things of, 2024 was dudes was getting beat up and DV'd because of this whole Cooking with Kaya situation.
Well, okay. So I'll give you my perspective. She's a young woman, right?
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of strange too, because I'm like, she looked mad young. So some of these guys that are like drooling over her, I'm like.
So when I look at her, I look at her like she could be my daughter. So I really don't look at her like that. So I'm
That's what
like,
I'm
this is
saying. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like
I don't.
I seen one of her videos on Facebook, and I'm looking in the comments of some of these dudes, and I'm like, some of y'all old enough, definitely old enough to be her daddy.
No,
But
people
she
don't
is a
care about
grown
that.
woman.
They gonna
She's a
smash
grown
if
woman.
they
But
can
I
smash, they
say,
gonna smash.
but
Yeah,
me,
but something I just feel like, I feel like social media has kind of made people a little too comfortable because you
Oh, I've
never
been
know
okay.
doing
who's
that.
looking at
No, no,
that.
no. Granddaddy and them been buying young ass since the beginning of the
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, but wasn't no social media. You listen to what I'm saying. Social media has made people too comfortable in
Okay.
sharing their perverted fucking fetishes.
Oh yeah, because Grandpa wanted to tell you he was spending the money. Like, nah,
Well,
go ahead.
everything
Hello,
goes on the
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
on
internet.
the low. The
yeah,
money balled up, handing it to you in the church handshake. You feel
yeah.
me? Like now they're in this young girl's comments.
Right.
Like, pops, we can see you.
Like, no,
Like,
what's your cash at? What's your cash at?
Well,
yeah, you know
everything
what I'm saying?
goes
I'm
in this
like,
day
yo,
and
this is
age.
Say again,
crazy.
Ken?
Everything
Class?
goes in this day and age. That
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
just that.
everything. I don't.
Everything,
I think the more
everything is
years
wild.
go on, the less shame people have. And my
I
Yeah.
bad
agree.
for cut. I'm not bad for cutting you off before, but yeah,
No, you good.
before before people will have to, even if a woman is a little promiscuous, she would. That's okay. You're grown up. You do that. But it
It
would
was
be like to
still a
myself.
certain, yeah, it was a
Right.
certain tact to, you
Right.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A certain tactfulness. I read a quote not too long ago that one of my friends posted, and it was like, this is a generation that's ashamed of nothing and offended by everything. And that was like the
Oh
most
yeah.
Oh
accurate
yeah.
thing ever. I'm
Yeah.
like, you hit the nail on the head with that one. That's like true story.
Okay. Okay. Is it time for our guest?
It is. It
Oh,
is.
that's
Yes.
pretty good. Yeah, we get the guest on. We haven't had a guest in a couple weeks, so it's a good thing.
I know you know what I'm saying? We took the time off for the holidays and everything. How was y'all's holiday? Yeah, I ain't talked to y'all since the holiday, the New Year. What?
I don't know. Santa never feels good after the holiday.
Anything exciting going on, guys? No.
Mm-mm.
What Santa bring y'all?
There's nothing never exciting about Christmas unless you know all the money you spend.
Nah, I feel you. Like it's not one of my favorite
It didn't even
holidays.
feel like a holiday though. You see how fast the shit? What is it? January 5th?
Man, listen, I was
That
working.
shit
I don't
flew
know
by.
nothing about nothing. I was working.
How
Yeah.
y'all to start?
Hey.
Hey,
Hey,
you ready?
how y'all doing? I'm trying to get
We
the video to start.
all
Yeah, I'm
right.
like, we
There
can
we
hear
Hey, there
you.
go.
we
There
go
you go.
in the
Hey,
What's
comfort of
going
your
on?
home. That's what's up.
Yes.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So welcome, Miss Crystal Jennings. I've been looking forward to this interview with you. Thank you for coming on Pitching and Grinding. I'm one of your hosts, ANAYA DAFFE. We got Classic and Aaron on here. So I know you're a makeup artist, but your natural skin is gorgeous. Ooh,
oh, thank you.
skincare.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's got the natural glow, fresh face going on.
Yeah, I didn't feel like putting no makeup on. As a makeup artist, after you get through, doing everybody else, I just don't feel like doing my own unless I got like somewhere very special to go to. So,
Well, you're gonna have to give us like that skincare fresh face tutorial, like breakdown maybe in a reel or something like that. Is that something that you do from time to time? Because the
no.
girls need to know your skin is like, yeah, popping.
No, I think it's hereditary. I just use like a regular cleanser and I use oil of Olay moisturizer and that's it. No type of like special routine, no step program, no nothing, just soap and water.
Well, ain't nothing like genetics, so ain't nothing like that. Is it? Maybe she's born with it.
Yeah.
So you have your own business. A lot of people always like to put onus on people having talent, but also what's the discipline does it take to actually have your own business and continue your own business because you're gonna have to have, especially early, money discipline because there's an ebb
Yeah.
and flow to all business. So how's that with the money discipline?
Okay, so basically, I actually went into full entrepreneurship as of August of last year.
Okay.
I always had a corporate job working for different colleges, and makeup was like my second gig, like my weekend gig, my evening gig. And I had got called to a reality show, as some of y'all may know,
Mhm.
MILF Manor season 2 with TLC. And I was working for a college out here in Charlotte, and I asked them for some time off, and they didn't want to grant it to me, so I walked out. I had already been contemplating when I was going to go full time, and I was, trying to set like a certain plan. But it's funny because it's like when God is in control, it's like if he say it's time to go, it's time to go. And it was like a total surprise. So I walked out. I mean, I'm like, you don't want me to go and be great. Like this is the one of the best opportunities. It could give my business more exposure. These opportunities don't come, to everybody and, anybody. So I walked away. And ever since then, I have been into full entrepreneurship, and it's been a little bit over a year now. So what I can say, when you do something like that, when you're depending on that, you have to grind harder. It's it's not what everybody thinks, because everybody is looking on, on from the outside, and they're like, oh, okay, I don't have to clock in, I don't have to report to a manager, the money is flowing, this is the life. No, it's not, because you do have those periods where the money is not coming in, and you get scared, like, okay, nobody's booking, I gotta pay bills. So when you get that money coming in, you got to make sure that you're taking care of the mortgage and the car note and the insurance, the things that matter most, and your bills, and then whatever you have left over, that's what you get to play with. That's what you need to be disciplined with, is taking care of home first, and then you can play later.
One thing that I think you said that's like super important that I think people don't really realize is when you said, people are like, oh, well, you don't have to clock in. But when you're an entrepreneur, you never clock out. Like it's an ongoing thing. There is no clock to punch. You're always on. When an opportunity comes, you got to be available for it, because like entrepreneurship, if you snooze, you lose. Like you can't necessarily go by a 9 to 5. If somebody hits you after that 9 to 5 window with opportunity, it's like when you're an entrepreneur, you gotta turn it on.
Yeah,
So
you're in control of it. I mean, I do turn some people down depending on like how late it is, how early it is. But usually I'm in my shop from like 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm working 12, 13 hours, which I take a girl per hour. So that's about 12 to 13 girls in a day. And it's a thing with me because they reach out to me via, social media. So they're coming through the inbox, they're coming through the DMs. And the most important thing is that like I'm always on top of it because I have to respond. It's good customer service. And if I don't respond within a certain period of time, they go on to somebody else.
right.
That's money that I particularly lost. So I do get that compliment a lot. Like, you responded, and I reached out to other artists and I haven't heard from them yet. I stay on top of mine. And it's to the point where I probably need an assistant. But then again, I don't even know if
Then you gotta split the money.
Somebody else. That too, and I don't know if I could trust somebody else, because if she happens to like overlook something,
Black,
that's making me upset. But like, that was money that we could have had. How did you mention that wanted a wedding for 10 people and that was like thousands of dollars? So I am in control. I'm controlling my own schedule, and I'm my own receptionist at this point.
What made you want to do makeup from the very beginning?
What made me want to do makeup? Oh, wow. It's a campfire story. I'll try to give you the short version.
Well, let's start the campfire. Where are you going?
Let's
It's
go.
cold outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, my mother used to be a model in the 70s. Very beautiful woman. So blessed to still have her here with me. She was a model, and she used to work for a company called Fashion Fair. If you remember Fashion Fair back in the day, yeah, it was like one of the most popular makeup lines. You could go to the high-end stores, and it was there, and it was for Black women.
And I was gonna say, and they feature people of color. Yes. Before Mary Kay was showing us love, we had Fashion Fair.
Yes, we had Fashion Fair and we had Posner. Posner was sold in like the drugstores, but Fashion Fair was like the Mac back in the days. But it was real oily. At that point, I think people were still experimenting with makeup, and I remember it being very oily. But anyway, my mother, she worked for them, and like I said, she was a model. I'm raised in a house full of beautiful women. My aunties, my cousins. We were just all like 15 girls in one house, and one grandfather, my great grandfather, who helped take care of us and raise us. So I'm watching all of them. you know, and everything was about getting dressed up and going out to the lounges and the clubs back in the 70s and the 80s, disco, Shaka Khan, all that. And, you know, they raised me to be a girly girl. So my mother, I would watch her do her face in the bathroom and she would always look down. She'd be like, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need to wear it. So I never wore it. I was strictly like mascara, lip gloss, because I wasn't allowed to wear it. But when I got grown, MAC came out. And I remember going to like Dillard's. We didn't have a Belk. We had something else. I think we had Dillard's and we had another high-end store. It wasn't Famous Bar. It was something else in St. Louis.
Okay.
And MAC, I would walk by them and they had on all the black. They had the house music going. It was, you know, men and women doing makeup. They were makeup artists and it just looked so hype and so fun. So I decided to get a makeover and I loved the attention that I got when I went to the club. I was like, oh, you know, I look good. So I started going all the time getting, you know, makeovers. And it was a girl there. Her name was Gorgeous. And she was from LA and she worked there and she would just give me free makeovers. We got cool. I would just come every week. And then I said to myself, I said, you know what? I want to learn how to do this. And I didn't know what to do, you know, because I couldn't afford makeup school. I'm a single mother, 3 boys, broke as a joke, didn't know what I was going to do. Well, a friend of mine, at this point, I moved to Chicago. I moved from St. Louis to Chicago. A friend of mine, a guy that I was dating at the time, he said, you know, there is YouTube University. I was like, YouTube? What's YouTube? This is like when YouTube wasn't really all that popular. So he was like, there's makeup tutorials out there. You can put in anything you want to learn. And I started putting in there and it was like a plethora of videos and I got addicted. I'm just watching it every day, all day long. Like this was my thing. And so I was too broke to afford MAC makeup. We went to Walgreens and we went to the dollar store and an art store and got brushes for $1. And I still have that set to this day and I'll never part with it because it just reminds me of where I came from.
Yeah.
And I started using dollar brushes. I mean, they were like dupes of MAC. And I practiced every day, all day. I was practicing in my sleep. I remember I would get up at midnight and be like, I think I got this eyebrow. I think I got it now, you know, and I would but I was not trying to be a makeup artist. I just wanted to know how to do my own face. I wasn't interested in doing clients. And then at this point, I moved from Chicago to Detroit because I ended up getting married. And I was still doing my own face. At this point, my husband, who had money, was buying all the high-end stuff for me. And I had so much stuff that he had bought. Somebody said, you need to start learning how to do other people. And I said, I ain't doing that because I don't want no women to get mad at me if I mess up, you know? So tried it anyway. We put some flyers out there at the beauty supply stores. We went to the wedding stores. We went to the grocery stores. We put them up on the billboards. He took some to his job, put it to the billboards, and they started coming. They started coming. And I got popular, but I was a traveling makeup artist because I didn't want everybody coming to me in his house.
Right.
Of course.
So yeah, so I started going to them, like going to hotels. I was going from house to house to house. I would do like 5 or 6 proms in one day. And I'm going I'm in Detroit. I don't know nothing about Detroit, but I'm all in the hood. I'm wherever they told me to go. And it was kind of a dangerous situation, but I got through it. And
they said, no, she's from St. Louis. She know what time it is.
yeah, you know.
And you're from the East, right?
No, I'm from St. Louis, not East St. Louis.
Okay. Look, I was gonna say, yeah, look, it's definitely a difference. So I was there briefly. So I know it's like, no, it's a difference. They like, no, I'm from St. Louis, not the East. Yeah. So
yeah, it's a big difference. So you know, after that, unfortunately we had got a divorce and I didn't know where I was gonna go. I didn't want to go back to St. Louis. I didn't want to go to Chicago. I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere warmer. And God gave me a sign. I had 3 clients in Detroit that sat in my chair and they were all back to back and they were all from Charlotte. They was like, come to Charlotte. Had another one. Come to Charlotte. Third, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. So I started applying for jobs, got a job down in Winston-Salem. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was a step closer to get to Charlotte. Was in Winston-Salem for exactly 1 year, did a little makeup here and there because, you know, Winston is small. It still was
Yeah.
like a side hustle. And I came here. I got hired at Johnson C. Smith. And I
Okay.
moved here after a year of being in Winston. And then I just started promoting myself and word of mouth. And it took off. It just took off.
Wow. So I know with you being from St. Louis, like you pretty much gave us a summation of St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, and to Charlotte, because that was going to be one of my questions. Like, how did you end up in North Carolina? But, you know, from St. Louis, I know just watching some of your story and everything like that, that's kind of what made me want to reach out because, like, just your story of your humble beginnings and the things that you went through, you know, in your hometown before you even made that move to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel like those things contributed to your character? Because a lot of people not just gonna get up and move like that. A lot of people have, you know, a lot of reservations. They're afraid to even move to the next town. So, you know, tell a little bit about, you know, maybe how those things that you went through, those adversities and stuff, gave you just that confidence to be like, I can make it anywhere.
Well, okay, so growing up in St. Louis, you know, I had a sheltered life living with my great grandparents because my great grandparents raised us. Like I said, we were all in one household, all these girls and everything. And my granddad, he was the best provider. He didn't make a lot, but we never went hungry. We never did without. It was just a beautiful time to be a child at that point. And then when they passed on, you know how families break apart. My mother moved and she was trying to take care of me. I'm the oldest out of all the siblings out of 5. And she went off into neighborhoods that were not ideal. You know, we went into the hoods and because she was a single mom, you know, poverty level or whatever. And I saw a lot. We saw a lot. Like I had to fight a lot. Because I guess because I was a cute girl.
You was a pretty girl. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so going to the public school system and you know, just trying to, you know, prove that, you know, that I wasn't a punk and all that type of stuff. It was just crazy. Then we had a lot of gang activity. So I grew up on a blood set. I grew up on a Crip set. So and at that time I'm a kid, so you know, I'm with the Crips. I love blue. I like the Crips. That's who I started. I first, grew up with those guys or whatever. Then we moved on to blood set. And I've seen a lot of drive-bys, a lot of crackheads, a lot of prostitutions. I mean, we stayed a few doors down from a prostitute who sold it off the porch. It was nothing to like be going to the store to go get some bread and some milk. And, you know, you might see a dead body in the alley and you just walk over it and keep going. A lot. I also had a child at a very young age. I got pregnant at the age of 14. And I had him at 15 and now he's living in Europe and he'll be 35 this year.
Oh, nice.
I know that's right.
Couldn't be so proud of him, you know, and this was the baby that everybody told me to abort because I was too young. And I decided not to. And he is like one of the greatest artists that I know. Very talented, very smart, and just a good young man. And I ended up having 2 more children. All my sons, I had 3 boys. They were all 5 years apart.
Okay.
So I think what motivated me to move out of St. Louis is because I always felt like I was bigger than St. Louis. I was always that go-getter type of person. So the last thing I wanted to do is having a child at a young age. Everybody expected me to be on welfare, to be strung out on drugs, a bunch of kids in the system because of where I came from. And I wanted to prove everybody wrong, and I wanted to prove myself wrong. So I went to school. I was always working. I've never been without a job. Even if I would lose a job, I was blessed to get another job just like that. Went to school, got 3 degrees, up to my master's degree. But I just felt like I was bigger than St. Louis. And I wanted to give my kids a better life. You know, they haven't been exposed to the life I had because, you know, I left home at 16. I was gone. I ain't been home since I've been 16 and I made it, you know. I was in the system as far as like getting welfare and food stamps and stuff like that. But eventually, as when I started getting jobs because of the degrees that I had, they cut me off, and I was forced to work and take care of my kids on my own. And I didn't get any child support. I never sued my kids' dads for child support at all. So I did all of this by myself. And my son, my oldest son, he got accepted to the Art Institute in Chicago. He got a full scholarship.
Nice.
But I couldn't afford housing. So I moved from St. Louis to Chicago. I could support him and get an apartment so he could have a place to stay because I didn't want him to lose out on that opportunity.
That's
And
what's
we lived
up.
in Chicago for 5 years, and I was a waitress. I waitressed at different restaurants. Red Lobster was one of them. And it was hard because, you know, Chicago was way more expensive than St. Louis. You know, here now, instead of me paying $625 in rent, I'm paying $1,100. You know, but I had to do that off of a waitress salary. Makeup was nowhere in the picture. If you would have told me that I would have been a celebrity makeup artist, I would have laughed at you. Like, for real, whatever. You know, so, and I made it from there. So I think it was really due to me wanting to give them a better opportunity and a better lifestyle. Because like I said, if you ask my kids now, you know, about some things when it comes to the hood life, they can't relate. My middle son can because he claims Chicago more than he claims St. Louis, and he's 29 now. He was 17, and you know, he met his girl and ended up having children with her, and he decided to stay in Chicago after I left. So he knows a little bit more about the hood life. You know, he didn't see stuff, you know. But other than that, yeah, they were my drive.
I know that's a real mom. That's real. Yeah, the
definitely.
sacrifice.
Definitely.
So now we're talking about the sacrifice. So you did talk about that. You were on a TV show.
Yes.
And you were for the job not to give you a, you know, this university not to give you an allotment of time to try to or to do the show. How was the show? How fun was it?
It was fun. It was different. Like, okay, so like I said, I'm very adventurous. I'm the one that's in the family that's gonna take the risk. My mom tell me out of everybody in our whole entire family, dating back to my great-grandparents, I'm the only one that has did the most. I'm not scared to do anything. So they contacted me, they found me. It wasn't anything that I applied for. They saw my picture on, if you're familiar with the Facebook page called Fly Ageless, where I think you got nice looking people,
Women,
you know, middle age, right? So they found me on there, and the producer contacted me on Facebook, and I thought it was some, you know, some bull. I'm like, whatever, you know. And then it started getting real because he was like, "Can you do a Zoom tonight?" I'm like, "Nah, I can't do no Zoom tonight. Wait till I get my hair done." You know, so we did it the next day. And after the producers fell in love with me after doing the Zoom, then it was like, okay, we finna send you to Quest Diagnostics. You need to take all of these STD tests because if you're on a dating show, they want to make sure you're clean because, you know, if you happen to have sex with somebody,
they don't want to be liable for anything.
if you gave them HIV and stuff, right? So you have to pass those tests. And they sent me to Canada. I was in Toronto, Canada for 3 weeks.
I love Toronto. Did you like Toronto?
We didn't get to see it. We only got taken out for dates, but we were not able to get around and go off by ourselves, you know.
Oh no.
So
Where did y'all like go? Like on the date? Like
we went to a bar, we went to the beach, and if you went on a private date, they might have took you to go body painting or some type of little activity like that. But you didn't get to venture off. And
so from what I saw, the show was women around a certain age range, and the men were at another age range. Was that correct, or am I off?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So we were in season 2. So I had never heard of MILF Manor. So I didn't know I was signing up for MILF Manor. Had I known, I probably wouldn't have went. Because they told me, they lied to a lot of us. They told me I was going on a show called Northern Love in Canada.
That's a totally different name.
Right. And so I'm thinking it's going to be the typical eliminations, competitions. I'm thinking that, you know.
That's crazy.
Right. So I get to the hotel. They put me in like a motel. They told me, they said, give me your cell phone your laptop, everything. I'm like, what?
Oh nah.
I'm like, am I being sex
What
trapped?
is?
Like, I didn't know
Yeah,
what was
like,
going on. I said,
you
well,
like a prisoner.
right.
Damn.
So I
That's
said,
crazy.
let me call my mother, because if my mother can't get in touch with me for 3 days, she is going to flip, because she already knew I was gone to Canada. So
Shit, I
imagine
Right.
her
flipped too.
calling.
Yeah, I'll flip too. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
that's flippable.
my mother is like persistent. If you don't answer her phone call, she flipping. So for 3 days, so I called her and she was like, "You sure this is all right? I mean, this don't sound like." And I'm like, "It is, Mom. I didn't see in the green room. I didn't talk to the producers. I didn't have a phone for 3 days, no computer. I slept so much and I watched a lot of TV."
But why
And
did they take your phone and your computer?
because they don't want you to leak any information because
Right.
of the contract. What do you call that? The
The production
NDA,
agreement and the
NDA,
NDA.
the
Because
non-disclosure. Right.
nowadays people always want to record with their phones and have a little
Take
something, even if they're
pictures.
close friends, that kind of thing. You can't do that.
They don't play that. They don't play that.
So how did it go towards the end? Did you get a date? Did you meet a mate? Did someone else meet a mate? How does it go? Who is it, like
Well, okay.
Flavor Flav? Because I saw the pre of I just didn't watch the season.
So the first, I didn't know anything about MILF Manor. So I heard that the first season was strictly women that were 40 plus, 50 plus, maybe even 60, dating 20-some-year-old men.
So
Mm.
all the men
And
were
when I
20.
found out that that's what they brought me to, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like,
Oh
I'm
wow.
gonna be here 3 weeks with kids.
Right,
But the
right.
kicker is they brought their dads.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that was the thing. And so the next day they brought the dads in for competition, and my eyes went straight to the nice looking black man named Stacy.
Okay.
And then on top of that, he was from St. Louis.
Hey,
Okay.
Stacey.
Yes, but he lived in Atlanta. But he said that they lied to him. They told him that he was reconnecting with his son that he hadn't seen in 7 years. He was like,
Damn, that's a big
I
lie.
know.
That's
I know.
huge.
Yes. And he told me he was going through a divorce, like fresh divorce. So he wasn't ready to
Poor guy. Yeah.
right. So, but I stayed loyal to him the whole time. Like some of the other women, they were guy hopping. Like, I'm not gonna kiss 3 different dudes, tongue them down. I'm not. Not
Yeah.
on national TV, not with my kids watching. I'm just hopping
Yeah.
from guy to guy. I stayed loyal to him, but it made it look like to the audience that I was being stupid for him because he clearly showed like he wasn't ready. But he was. I mean, they didn't give me any choices either. Everybody else was
Right.
out.
So you're not
They was doing too
attracted to
much.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So, but in the end, we didn't hook up. At the end, I left him. I left him stranded on the dock.
Damn.
Not stranded.
On the dock.
From
Well,
MILF
Well, he
Man,
wasn't ready anyway. He would have heard
he
me
wasn't
talk.
ready.
He wasn't ready.
yeah.
Even if
So
he
at
was
the
ready, his ass
end,
got
You kind
stranded
of
in
did him a
Canada.
favor, really, because he wasn't
right.
ready. Yeah.
So at the end, the person that you connected with, you were supposed to. They put us in this beautiful, expensive speedboat, sped us up to the dock. The guy would be waiting at the dock. Everybody walked up to the guy that they had connected with, and you're supposed to decide if you're going to be together, try it, or you're just gonna cut it out. Some people got dumped at the dock, bust out in tears, sat there and waited for me. I never showed up, and he just stood there, and he was like, "God damn, like this is embarrassing." He was hurt.
Oh,
It
so
was more of
he
an ego
was
thing.
hurt
But he knew
before, and
he
now he
wasn't
was
ready,
still.
though. He knew he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
The ego is real. Me and Class have been hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
On TV,
Yeah.
I got stranded.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, right.
But see, I was so loyal to him. I cried because when the producers told me to do that, I was like, I'm not gonna do him like that. Like, no. And they were
Right.
like, Crystal, you are going to make the show. He has made you look so stupid to the audience. If you do this, you're gonna stand up for all women across across the world. So, because I mean, we had other countries looking at us too.
Right.
So I cried. I was like, okay, I guess
Well, you also made a T-shirt up, beat the bitch up or something like that, or something of that nature.
get your punk ass down. That's
Oh,
what
see, okay.
it is.
Oh, I need one of them. Where can I get that shirt? Is it on Amazon?
I didn't
Where can
mean to
get one?
curse, but I knew it was a T-shirt. Like,
I have to send y'all the link.
Yeah, because I need one of them.
let's
Yeah,
hear
so-
that story. Sit your punk ass down.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was a character, my partner laughing. Because I mean, we went through a lot. It was a girl named Barbie who was on the show. And
Was Barbie at least pretty?
They say she was.
No, I'm asking you because you know pretty.
She wasn't no
Which-
bad looking chick. She was a Hispanic chick. She passed off as a white woman to me, but she was Hispanic or whatever.
Okay.
But you could tell from day one, she felt like this show was going to be like, it was going to make her famous. This was like, you know, this is my big break.
Doing too much.
And yeah, and you could also tell that they were going to make her the star of the show from the very beginning, because they gave her the most cameos. They sent her out to, who is that guy that does the talk shows for the housewives?
Oh, the Bravo guy,
Andy Cohen.
Eddie Cohen. They sent her there. She was getting all the top interviews, and they didn't give us anything. Well, anyway, she said she was an ex-stripper. There's an episode where she was like, yeah, I used to be a stripper. And they put the camera to me, and I'm looking at her like this. And she caught that, and she said, I see you looking at me. I said, I'm just looking at you, you know. So we went to the bar the night we met the fathers, and we were supposed to mingle and meet with the dads. She had just got on my nerves for just being so extra. So when she was talking to some of the dads, I was like, butting in between, like, excuse me, how you doing, baby? I was messing with her. I'm coming out here. Yeah, right. I'm like, she ain't gonna do nothing. So she called me outside. She was like, can I talk to you? And I said, we could talk right here. And she said, no, we can talk outside. So Stacy, who is from St. Louis, when he
knew what it was.
He was like this. Oh, damn, this is gonna be messed up. So she called me outside, and she was like, well, you know, when I said I was a stripper, you seemed like you had an attitude about that. I said, girl, that's what you called me out here for. I'm like, if I asked you to twerk right now, can you do it? Do you know what kind of strip clubs I have went to? They do more than just swing their hair and do this, okay? Because I mean, that's probably what she from that 90s era.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, girl, whatever, bye. And I walked in the club. I sat back down. She's still yipping and yapping. I said, sit your punk ass down somewhere. And she said, my punk ass. I said, sit your punk ass down. So she threw a glass. And I said, yeah, you better have thrown it at the floor, because you wasn't going to throw it at me. Because I was ready to fight at this point. And I told the producers, I said, if y'all provoke that, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am not the one. I don't look at reality shows. I don't like the fights. I don't like throwing the drinks in the face and grabbing the hair, because I do not get down like that. It's going to be worse. So I'm telling y'all now, don't provoke nothing with me, because y'all ain't going to like the outcome.
Right.
So me and her, we didn't get along that whole entire show. And afterwards, she took me through so much drama, to the point where it brought me to tears. I had contacted the producers, because what she was doing, she was talking about me in her stories, defaming my character, going against NDA agreement. But the straw that broke the bull back is she mentioned my deceased son.
Oof.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
But she waited till after the show was over, and you couldn't really get to her to do something like that.
Right.
That's how
Salt Lake City, Utah. So I begged the producers, can we please have a reunion? And they was like, nope. Liability issue, because they already knew it wasn't gonna go right.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna get that ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So being on the show, because I know you did it for like a bucket list, you know, because you got big balls, you just trying shit anyway. You know what I mean? Let's just go. You only live once, right? So has it helped the business any? It has?
Yeah, I didn't get as many followers as she did. I think she went up to like 100,000, but she was doing the most.
Messy, yeah. People like
I don't know. You know, and it's crazy, because with the Black women, they want to label us, we're angry. I can't tell you, not only was I getting it from her, I was getting it from the fans. Twitter was tearing me up. Oh, she's a bully, she's ghetto. You know,
I told y'all.
Yeah, we get it the worst.
They believe me when I said that.
She slept with somebody on the show. They didn't show that, because they have a camera in the room while you having sex.
Oh wow.
There was no way I was gonna do that. But if I would have done that, I probably
it would have been blasted.
They would have aired it, and then I would have been looking like the slut. Okay. So they treat Black women a little differently. I'm gonna say it. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is.
They want to make you look crazy.
But I did get followers. To answer your question, I did get followers. And I did get people to fly me out. I had a lady from Great Britain. She wanted to fly me out to do her makeup.
Oh, that's cool.
Things like that, but nothing too big. Not like I would.
Not yet. It's coming.
It's
still coming.
Oh, when you said fly you out, I was like, damn, they really trying to date you out here. That's
what I thought.
No, they would fly me out for makeup opportunities.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did get a lot of weirdos and a lot of men.
That's what I was gonna ask next.
That's so
like, how did it affect your dating life, like in the real world?
Well, I ain't dating. I mean, I'm dating like, sporadically here and there, but nobody solid to get them upset.
I understand.
But yeah, I was getting dick pics. I was getting videos.
Oh, see.
I was getting all of that. I was getting the ones from South Africa. I mean, they were everywhere, and they was like, I love you. I watch you. You're my favorite, and trying to get me to FaceTime them. It was crazy. It got crazy.
What was your crazy? This is one of classic classes. He always likes to know, what was your craziest fan moment?
Craziest fan moment.
Because you was getting penis pics. I mean, come on, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was getting penis pics.
I thought you got them too all the time.
She do.
First of all,
she do.
I do not get. It's been a while.
See, look. You have
wait till you drop the next single.
That sounds like I haven't released no music or nothing. It's been a while.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Once you drop the next single,
okay,
it'll go back
I
up.
would say this. Okay, so it wasn't crazy. It was kind of cute. So I was at the airport. And this girl was following me around, and she was on the phone, and I could hear her saying to somebody, "I think this her. I think this her. I think this her." And so she came up to me in the ladies' room, and she was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be following you, but I'm on the phone with my boyfriend, and we think you're the girl from MILF Manor." And I was like, "I am." So she was like, "Oh my God." So she's like FaceTiming him, and she's like, "It is her." And he was like, "Let me see her. Let me see her."
Oh.
I was like, "Hey," he was like, "Oh my God," whatever. So I videoed that, their reaction. But she followed me. She said, "I followed you all the way down here. My gate is way up there."
Oh,
that's cool.
my boyfriend is
that's sweet.
Yeah,
cool.
so that was cool.
And she's not a hater. She did that for her boyfriend, so he can see you. So
right,
yeah,
exactly.
she cool people. Yeah, that's what's up. That is cute. That's a cute.
Would you do another show?
I would if I did, the price would have to be better than what it was. Because I lost out on business. I'm gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to give money that I was already paid to the girls that I have that work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had some women that was like, "Nah, I don't want you. I want you. So just give me a refund." And then some people understood, but I mean, I got paid a few $1,000s, but I lost money too. Yeah. So now it would have to be, if you want me to give up my business, you need to pay me for the business that's lost and the time that I'm here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't know better, but I know better now. And I would do another one. I would. I don't think I would necessarily sign up for one, but if somebody asked me, depending on what it was, I would do it. If I'm in a relationship, no, not if it's a dating type of show. They come out with a season 3. I don't know, because that girl Barbie messed up a lot of opportunities for everybody with the drama that she caused. I mean, y'all just don't know. If they asked me to come be a visitor on season 3, I probably would.
Are you still in contact with anybody from the show? Just on some, conversation?
Oh yeah, I'm in contact with Kelly. Kelly, she was on season 1, and they brought her as a guest on season 2. So me and Kelly, we're really good together. Me and Stacy, the guy, we follow each other. We don't really talk, but we follow each other on social media. And that's really about it. Maybe a couple of other girls, but not so much. I would say Kelly is the one that I'm really cool with.
So also in your profession, you provide training classes for aspiring artists.
Yep.
And so how does that go?
Well, I train women who want to up their skills,
Okay.
upgrade their skills. So I had one just this past Sunday. I do it on Sundays only because Sundays are my slowest days. I can't do it on Saturdays. I'm packed. So basically what it is they'll bring a model and I do one side of the face and they do the other side of the face. So your goal is to get your side to look like my side. Like I'm gonna do an eyebrow, then you're gonna do an eyebrow. I'm gonna do eyeshadow, you're gonna do eyeshadow, and we're gonna get that right until you know exactly what you're doing.
That's cool.
And it's good because a lot of times they're using cheap products. I mean, I started off with cheap products, and I can tell. I can look and see if you got on LA Pro concealer, the one in the squeeze too. I'm sure you're probably familiar with that.
I got some in the bathroom right now.
Yeah,
I got it on today.
Yeah, versus Too Faced. I know the difference. And that's the thing. It's always good to be able to know a new technique, a new tool. Because sometimes you be like, I didn't know that brush did that. Wow. Or a new product. So
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. A buddy of mine brought his daughter a makeup brush, but it turned out to be a vibrator. They bought it from the TikTok shop because it was a pulsating thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, we don't know. He did it out of love,
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
I
Bless
like
his
to see what
heart.
it look like.
Say again?
That's
I don't know,
interesting.
but
Yeah, like I've never
we
even. I
don't
didn't
know.
even know
No,
that
it
was a
looked like
thing.
it looked like a makeup brush. We don't know makeup brushes ain't supposed to
No, I
vibrate like
don't.
that. We don't know
No, you shouldn't be using anything that vibrate on your face when it comes to makeup.
that. Okay. We know now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I teach them and I get an enjoyment. I might want to go into it full time. When one day when I decide to put these brushes down a little bit, I wouldn't mind having a school.
Is there anything challenging to you?
Challenging as far as what?
You've been doing makeup for a long time. You
Like
probably,
that industry, the business.
Challenging, there's a lot of competition out here. It's a lot of competition. I don't know what it is with makeup artists, but it's always like, I'm better than her. She can't do no makeup. Why did she get this opportunity? She don't know what she doing. And then, celebrities, you can't get attached to celebrities because celebrities come and go.
They're not loyal, right?
They're not loyal. You'll be here today and gone tomorrow. The bridezillas, you do get those women who, well, I don't want it like this and I don't want it like that. And can you just do it like this? And they're real particular and their attitudes are jacked up. You got to learn how to deal with them. And me being who I am and where I'm from, it's very challenging. My friends, they laugh at me because I'll hand you the brush and they be like, what's that for? Y'all be like, you want to do it? You want to do makeup? Or I'll tell the ones that are not used to makeup, no matter what you do, it's gonna be heavy. I'm like, if you want your makeup to look like you did it in the bathroom, then you should have did it in the bathroom. This is how I talk to people. And I try to, but I'm being nice with it, but I'm very big on painting a picture for you. So you can understand what I'm saying. You paid me to do a service. There you go. I'm not going to do it like you do it. If you want it to look like that, you should have did it your damn self. Period.
Yeah. You ever look at people's makeup when you went in the streets and be like, damn, who the hell did that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, I know she
Go
did.
online and say, you're not gonna go online and say Crystal About Face did that. No, that's not how we work. What used to be challenging with me was Caucasian women. They are all different shades. They are not just white. They get tan. They have Hispanic in them. They are pale as
the undertones. Some don't.
Freckles, whatever. You have to know how to do them because you can make them look horrible. You have to have all shades. So that was challenging. I can't deal with other women. As far as other makeup artists working, like I used to think I wanted a shop where I had all other makeup artists working for me, and I probably still could get that kicked off. But I'm not good with the estrogen levels. I'm not good with that. Because when you come in with an attitude, or I got to ask you what my rent money is.
Yeah, that's a thing of responsibility.
Yeah.
That's a thing of, this is business. I know we cool, but I have overhead and you have to pay.
Overhead. And
Basically
then,
renting them a chair.
Right, the estrogen levels, okay, you getting ready to come on. I understand you got an attitude. I don't want to deal with the he say, she say, the
Still got to
gossip.
be professional. Yeah.
Still gotta be professional. Come in smelling like weed. No, no, no.
It's
It
still a
won't work.
business. You still got to be professional. And like you said, if it's your business, then they're representing your brand and you
Exactly.
know how you want your brand to be represented. So
Right. Because if anybody go on Google, they're not gonna say Tasha did it. They're gonna say Crystal did it.
Yeah.
About Face Makeup did it. This is what happened when I came into her shop. So yeah.
Is there any, well, we got you for a couple more minutes, but we do have some questions like licensing wise, do you have to be an esthetician or is this just a skill trait basically you pick up on your own and you just expand it?
Okay. So from what I'm hearing, okay, I don't have a license, a esthetician license. I got grandfathered in, but from what I'm hearing, you do now.
Oh,
You do
really?
now. Yep. So I've been doing makeup for 10 years. I'm
I was
grandfathered.
gonna say 10 years. I was gonna say 10 years. Would you still have to get some type of licensing, or you would be able to get the license based on your credibility and notoriety?
I don't need a license. I just
Oh,
don't need
okay.
one. I don't need one. But I heard that that it goes by the state.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I heard that North Carolina wants you to have an esthetician license, but if you've been doing it for X amount of years, you don't have to get one.
You know North
I
Carolina
I
want
want to
money?
look into it though. I may look into it a little bit more because I don't want nobody coming to slap me on the hand
North
saying,
Carolina want to make that money, so they're gonna
Yeah,
put
I was gonna
whatever
say
out
North
there.
Carolina treating
They're
it like
about
they do
making
the
money.
ABC store. Yeah, they just
yeah,
want their money off of it.
yeah.
Well,
They
we're
see,
all
ooh,
in
they
North
getting money over
Carolina,
there.
so we already know. So you feel me?
Mhm.
But before we let you go, is there any way anything that you got going on in the near future and how to contact you?
Yes. What
Okay.
can we be on the lookout for?
Yes.
My own products.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it. You remember when Bobby Brown came out back in the day?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember when Bobby Brown came
Yeah.
out. My mom
Yeah.
was wearing that. My mom was wearing Bobby
Yeah.
Brown.
The reason I say that because I was like, who is this or what? Because I remember, the old lady I had at the time was buying stuff, but it was just like it was a woman of color that came out. It was like fresh, and then she blew up a couple years afterwards. Is that correct?
Yeah. The richest makeup artist well, she's one of the richest. She's a billionaire. Pat McGrath. Plain,
Mm.
plain
Isn't
looking
like
woman, look like a woman on the back of the bus. She's from England, and a bottle of foundation is $100. But I'm telling
isn't
you,
like
she got
Fenty
all of the
makeup
shade.
too?
She's got, huh?
Isn't like Fenty makeup too? Rihanna stuff ain't that like makeup?
Fenty, Rihanna don't own it no more. Rihanna
I was gonna
sold.
say she don't even own it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
she
don't
owned
know
it,
that
I
but
shit.
don't
it is
know.
a
I'm
$1
makeup.
billion. Yeah, it beat Mac. Mac is only making millions. She's making billions. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's what I
tell you,
heard.
it may get rid of Mac one day because if you notice now when you go to Belt, there's nobody over there. You got to get somebody out the shoe department to help you. And anytime
Yeah.
Ulta Beauty is selling them, they struggling.
Yeah, because they have
Well,
Ulta
they sell that
in
in
Kohl's.
Kohl's.
Yes,
And
yes.
I remember when I could only go certain places, like I was a flight attendant for a certain amount of time, and I would literally have to be in the airport in Detroit or in Chicago and get my Mac. I would have to get off, and hopefully I had enough time between flights to go to the Mac spot in
Yeah.
Detroit because it
They
was
have
like,
Mac in Charlotte, Douglas now. They
Oh,
got
mhm.
a Mac store there. But yep, they are struggling. But yep, that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on my own makeup brush line because short story, I was doing Fantasia's makeup. I was at her house. I left my brushes. I was pissed off. I had to jump in the car, go back to my house and get my brushes. And the whole time I'm thinking like, what if I had an emergency kit? Because
Yeah.
makeup artists, when we're packing, we leave stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you fly out, your stuff get lost in the luggage, whatever, you cannot go to Walgreens to get them same brushes. And if you go to Mac, you're gonna pay $30 a brush.
Brush. Hmm.
I've been around to Sephora, I've been around to Ulta, and the makeup sets that they have, you like, what is this brush for? Why did they give me 3 different blush brushes? So what I've done is I have constructed a makeup brush kit that is going to be exactly what we need. And I think the slogan is going to be makeup simplified because for instance, if you got a palette with all these colors in it, I'm only using 2 colors because these are my favorite colors, which are browns in the earth
Hmm.
tone family. When I run out of that, I don't want to have to go buy the whole palette over again. I
That's
just
right.
buy exactly what I need. You know what I'm saying? I done bought this palette 5 times, literally. And those same two colors, my favorite ones, are dug out because that's what I use. Why not? How come I can't buy something just that single color? You know,
Mhm.
so that's
Sounds
what
like a
I'm
great
working on.
idea to me.
Yep.
That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm
Mhm.
working on. And so to get it marketed and do the commercials and get the
When do
supply.
you plan on dropping? Because I want to be a brand ambassador for the brushes.
I'm gonna say this year, I do have an investor who is supposed
Nice.
to invest
Nice.
in it this month. Just a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, was like, "Look, I'm gonna drop you something, and how much you need?" And I said, "How much you need it?" And
That's
they was
a
like, "Okay." So
Listen,
That's
I
a good
never had
friend.
no friends like that. I've been around the wrong circles. That's what's up.
yeah. Well, you know what? I have my angel, my son, my late son. Ever since he passed away, I have been getting blessing after blessing after blessing, and I really believe in my mind that he has a lot to do it. So I always picture my baby sitting on God's lap, saying, bless my mama," because even my kids have called me, his brothers, and be like, "Mama, do you do something different? Because we've been getting a lot of blessings lately," and I'd be like, "That's your baby brother up there talking to God." So I feel like this is what it's gonna be. And then I'm also manifesting it because coming from the lifestyle that I came up, it was always a but what if, you always spoke negative. And so lately, I have been trying to speak positive and said, I think I'm gonna do something. I don't know. It's like, no, I'm going to do this because your words have so much power. And that's what I'm learning. So
Well, he is how I found you. So,
yes.
um, I would say that he definitely is, putting in words for you and just sprinkling little blessings for you here and there because the first of me ever knowing about you, ever seeing you, you were talking about him in an interview. And I felt it. It was just like you were talking and you could tell that you were speaking from a place of hurt, but you spoke with so much poise and
Mm,
just so much passion and just determination of like I'm not gonna let this defeat me. I'm
mm.
going to let his story be a part of my victory and I'm not be a victim of it. And I just really admired that about you. I was like, I want to know more about her. I want to know more about her story. And I just felt like you just carried that just very regal,
Yeah,
you
my
know?
baby has been blessing me. I built my house in his honor. The address adds up to his age when he was killed. I did not plan
Mhm.
that. I noticed that I had posted the same house that I built. I mean, I didn't know I would build my own house. They told me I wasn't even going to be able to buy a home. And I ended up building it and designing it. I didn't know I had posted this house years ago as a vision board. Like, this is what I would like to have someday. I built the same house and I posted it on the day that he died 1 year. My son said, "Mom, look at what day you posted that house." I posted it March 16, 2020. He was killed March 16, 2021.
Wow.
It was a smooth process to build this house. And that was the biggest accomplishment. I wrote his name on all the wood. Also, if you've seen that viral video, actually I just posted him and it got 1.4 million views. Portia reached out from Atlanta Housewives, Raheem Devine, CeCe Peniston. Oh my God, it was so many celebrities that this boy didn't reach. And I'm getting all these prayers and women sharing their stories about how they lost their child to gun violence. Some of them lost all their kids to gun violence, and they're DMing me. And I'm like, Cortland, is this you? Because you got a lot of prayers coming in every single day. So I really do think he has something to do with it. Also, we caught his image in the light 2 days after he was murdered. My sister had a dream about a little boy and that he was running through the house and he disappeared into the wall. So she
Mhm.
was like at the house and she was pregnant and she was like, "I'm not gonna be able to go to this funeral because it's just gonna be too powerful for me." So she had decorated her nursery and she was filming it. And all of a sudden, you see his whole head with his ears come in the light, and he goes out and he comes back. And it freaked me out. He has cut off lights. He cut all the lights off in the
Mm.
funeral home. I mean, he just does stuff. He just does. And it's like he's saying, "Mama, I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm here. I'm okay." So that's what I feel in my heart, that my baby is looking out for me. So I'm ready for the blessings. And I feel like God is like, "I got so much for you, but I just need you to get ready. I need you to be able to receive." you know. So, yep. So be looking out because it's gonna get bigger than this.
Good.
I love that for you. I can't wait. I will definitely
Yes.
be on the lookout, ready to promote, share anything. So feel free to tag me anything you got going on. I will definitely share it on my
Thank
page.
you.
Yes.
An
Absolutely.
inspiring and creative story. Keep the big balls. You know what I mean?
Which one of y'all cool with Jay?
We all is.
All of us.
Okay, because she was so happy. She was like, "This is cool." You know, Jay
Yeah.
works for me.
Yeah, we know.
So I
we
didn't
know.
know that.
Yeah, and
They
I was-
told me that because I
Yeah,
know
and I was
her, but I
like-
didn't know that y'all knew each other.
Yeah, Jay big on social media, and she loved doing podcasts, and she do, you know, all of the little.
Yeah, she has a show that she does.
Yeah. So
She been to our conferences and to our events. We all cool.
she is so supportive. That is like my little sister.
Some
She
good people.
do not play about me. She don't play about me at all. She'll like whoop ass.
She don't play about none of her people.
She don't.
That's
She
one thing
don't.
I can't
love
say.
her.
She don't play about none of her people.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my girl.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and just
Appreciate you.
giving us
Appreciate you.
a piece of
I
yourself and sharing your son's legacy and what you have coming up. I appreciate your time.
I'm the first one this year, right?
Yup.
That's right.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for considering me for that, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. We got the year off with all this positive pitching
Yes.
and grinding, hustling energy.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all have a
Wow.
happy new year.
You
Same
too.
to you.
Thank you.
Okay,
You're
love.
prosperous one. Peace.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
that was-
talking about.
Yeah, it's great to have us, but it's always good to have a great guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her energy. She came with that St. Louis, like, listen, don't make me show you where I'm from. You know, I love
Isn't
that.
it crazy though that they tell you you're Northern Love and then they change the name of the show?
Yeah,
to
that's-
No, I'm
Manor?
like,
Yeah, they
I
switched the
wonder
hell
how
out of
they
that
can't
shit.
get sued for that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
like-
crazy.
Yo,
You get people all the way in another country?
Imagine this shit. You're told, yeah, you're gonna be on a show so you and your son can reconnect, and it's a fucking dating show.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's-
some
And you
bullshit?
still going
That's
through a
some-
divorce.
That's some type of shit you fuck somebody up over.
That's
Like, bro,
Come here
crazy.
to meet my
You
son.
ain't
yo.
even
Now
drive.
I understand how these people be on there. You be like, why are they so angry? Because they didn't even know, like, they've been lied to. Now I see what these folks be talking about. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, you
They
know
did.
what it is.
That's a good one though.
It's
But
a
now I
great
gotta
one.
run it back because I need to see that episode where she told that girl to sit her punk ass down. I need to see that.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I gotta run it back. I gotta run it back.
Run it back, and let us know how
Run
it is.
back.
Classic. You want to end it?
That's it. Pitching and grinding. We
Pitching
here.
and grinding.